Alright, guys, welcome in. Alex is very, very tired. That's me, by the way, in case you didn't know. My name's not Kodiak, it's Alex. But the NFL draft was tonight, so does that mean it's time to sleep even though it's 12:30 and I've had very little sleep over the past 3 days and, I've worked a bunch for my restaurant job? No! No, it doesn't. It means it's time to talk about our potential superstar in RJ Harvey. So, before we get into it, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, leave the like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're not already. You can always wait until the end. Hopefully, I'll have earned it. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, RJ Harvey, he is a three-star recruit from Edgewater High School in Orlando, Florida. He's the 52nd ranked dual threat quarterback in the 2019 class. I did not make a mistake there. Yes, you read that right. Dual threat quarterback. And he actually enrolled at Virginia as a quarterback, but then he transferred to UCF after 2019. And I think he had a redshirt year in the 2019 to 2020 season. And then obviously COVID happens. And I don't think he stepped onto the field until 2021, tore his ACL immediately. Then in 2022, worked his way back. 2023 is when he finally took a grip on UCF starting job. And that's eventually when he became the starting running back for the team. So he won the UCF starting running back job in 2022, and he rushed for 1,500 yards in both 2023 and 2024. He actually didn't hit this number in 2023. He finished 75 yards away, but, I was like, whatever. We'll just include that for the sake of this. But yeah, so he's had basically 3,000 yards in the past 2 years, and that is playing on a UCF team that was not very good at all. But yeah, we finally have a dynamic backfield playmaker, which is something we haven't had in years. Like we've had a guy who can, make a play here and there, like Jaleel McLaughlin. But I mean, for the most part, we've just had these you know, two down between the tackles grinders like Javante, like Melvin Gordon didn't have a lot of playmaking ability, especially towards the end of his time here. Philip Lindsay, he couldn't catch or break a tackle, and yeah. So that's kind of how I felt about him. Royce Freeman, yeah, it's just been really sad. It's been really, really sad for a long time. So I'm really hoping that RJ Harvey adds some juice to this backfield because we haven't had that in a long time. Either way, it's time to watch some clips. I hope you enjoy. All right, so one thing that really impressed me about Harvey is just his ability to just be a playmaker. And I'm going to show you all the 15 plus yards runs that he had this past year. He did a lot of it in motion, which was pretty awesome to think about because I think he can be really, really impactful in that regard heading into the NFL. But yeah, so he's just a playmaker. Like, once again, uh, good luck tackling him in space. And this is why I call him, Walmart Genty or whatever I want to say. And this is why Sean Payton and George Paton are so excited about the fit. Great, great stuff at the line of scrimmage. Great vision, great patience. I just love what he brings. This is going to be really refreshing to actually have a playmaker at the running back position because honestly, I can't remember the last time we had one. So this is pretty neat. But yeah, so you just see him break off this breakaway run out here, and you know, occasionally he does get hawked by a DB or something like that. But oh well, like. To be completely honest, he's just such a demon, man. I really, really like what we're going to get from him. And once again, he's just bouncing it to the outside and he's gone. I've seen a lot of comps to Achan. I've seen a lot of comps to Sproles was another one that I heard Sean Payton say. Even though RJ Harvey did not get the full chance to utilize his receiving skill set as a running back at UCF in Orlando. But yeah. And one thing that's kind of crazy is that he had his worst game, Buffs fans, against CU. And he had a 75-yard touchdown in that game as well. So that's kind of interesting as well. But yeah. So once again, we've just got some Big 12 action. Once again, this dude just doesn't go down. Like, I don't know how to describe it. He's just, just watch him. Watch him in slow motion. Like, oh my goodness. Yo. Okay. Yeah, just running through the West Virginia defense right there. Once again, you give him a hole, he can be absolutely gone. And honestly, even if you don't give him a hole, like, I don't know, things are starting to look up for you. But yeah, oh my God, I'm just so excited to see this guy in the orange and blue, man. The highlights, I will say, these aren't even like highlight runs, they're just every run that's like over 15 yards. And I see a lot of individual creation. Like UCF does not have a dominant offensive line or anything at all. And, this guy's just taking his chances and he's just making something out of nothing in a lot of these cases. But yeah, well done. Well done, RJ Harvey. Getting to the line of scrimmage, then just bouncing to the outside. He makes it look so effortless. And this is why it's important that we have our wide receivers that block, because he really likes to bounce to the outside, and I think he does his best work when he does bounce his runs to the outside. So, yeah, great contact balance. I love his contact balance and his patience and just everything. It's hard to find an area of his game that you don't like other than his age. Like, that's really what it boils down to for me. Just bounces off the dude. I didn't know if I was going to show the full thing, but these just get more and more ridiculous. Like, just completely runs the dude over. All right, going upfield. Yeah, all right, so that basically is, you get the picture. You get the picture. His playmaking ability, absurd. Absolutely ludicrous. So, yeah. So, over the course of his college career, 3,800 yards, basically, 43 touchdowns, which is an absurd number. So, yeah, 47 touchdowns from scrimmage. And, yeah, unfortunately, one thing that sticks out to me with his box score production is that he really did not get the chance to go ham in the receiving game. I wish he did. But then again, I kind of wish he didn't because, that potentially could have, shot him up draft boards if he had like 45 catches this past year or something. But yeah, he did really, really well. He did really, really well at UCF. Like, he was a captain for a reason. He was the heart and soul of that team, and now he is a member of the Denver Broncos as well. So his play style, that Genty guy, yeah, just imagine a Walmart version of Genty. Like, that's basically the way I see RJ Harvey. I know it's kind of a weird comp. I know it's kind of a lame comp. A lot of people say Bucky Irving, and I mean, we'll see. We'll see where we go with that. But I see Walmart Genty with RJ Harvey. And that's not like a diss to him. I think he's like Genty, but older and, past injury concerns and probably 80% of the playmaking ability. That's how I'd put him. And that 10 to 20% gap is what made Genty such a highly valued commodity this past year. But he's a very patient runner who has a knack for finding the hole at the line of scrimmage, and he actively creates holes, Even if you think he's dead in the water at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, that is not the case. It is not the case in the slightest. So, yeah, he has also insane burst and juice towards the second level to capitalize on breakaway opportunities. Like, I've never seen a guy just hit a hole so effortlessly. And to be completely honest, I get Achane vibes. I get Achane vibes watching him because, even though Achane is a good home run hitter, he's also a good runner on first and second down. And I think that's what really impressed me about Harvey as well. He's also a high effort guy that's willing to do, the other things within a play. Like, for example, you got to carry out a fake sometimes. And, UCF did a lot of that, especially because they had big quarterbacks who could run. He has the ability to be a lead blocker. Is he a good pass protector? Not really. That's the one area of his game that he can't really do, and unfortunately, that's the main drawback when you look at all the scouting reports about him. But I have to believe another back is coming in on day 3. I know that you're probably watching this on day 3, so yeah, I don't know whether it's Damian Martinez, Scatterboo, whoever it may be. I just gotta believe another back is coming to fill that pass protection role. So here's RJ Harvey's advanced analytics. They're just absolutely insane. So amongst 31 FBS running backs with 200 carries last year, RJ Harvey, second in yards per attempt, second in yards of 10 or more rushing yards, second in rushes of 15 or more yards, third in touchdowns, fourth in breakaway percentage, fifth in yards, sixth in the yards per out run, eighth in missed tackles, and ninth in yards after contact per attempt. So this is fantastic because not only do the box score stats like touchdowns and yards hold up very well, but the advanced analytics like breakaway percentage and missed tackles also hold up well as well. So RJ Harvey, this is also from Warren Sharp. Sorry, my face cam is cutting off the author of the tweet right there. But RJ Harvey, 4.4 flat, 40-yard dash, 18.5 miles per hour at the 10-yard mark. which is number 1 in the class. 14% of his runs gained 15 plus yards, which is number 2 in the class. 8.2 yards per carry on outside runs, number 1 in the class. Tested very well with the explosive drills, so 93rd percentile explosion scoring jumping drills in the class as well. So why was RJ Harvey the pick? Well, honestly, they just fell in love with the dude's skill set. Like, it's not like yesterday where, they just kind of went BPA with Jahdae Barron. No, they just really like the guy's skill set, and to be completely honest, there's just not much more to be said other than, this was a pick-your-flavor running back class, and the Broncos happened to pick their flavor. I'm sure that they were just as sick as we were, if not more, watching the running back room. I'm sure that, watching our offensive line be very, very good, and, watching Javonte just run into our offensive linemen's backs, watching Jaleel Seldom create something on his own. I'm pretty sure that drove the coaching staff absolutely nuts, and that's why they decided to go with a running back in the second round. And that's why they decided to pick RJ Harvey, because he's the polar opposite of both those guys. And they clearly liked him enough not to go up for Quinshon and Travion, especially because Tennessee was open for business. There was another team that moved back pretty far. But this was their guy, and point blank period. I think they got zoned in on him, and they still were able to land him, even though they traded back probably 10 picks and they accumulated extra value, and eventually we could trade up for Savion Jones or something like that. But it's just an added bonus that they traded back a bunch and they got some extra capital on top of it rather than staying put. So here are my reservations with the pick. I'm at that age where if a running back is older than me, they might not have a very long shelf life. I'm 24, and I think RJ Harvey, I looked it up, is a month older than me. So, I'm starting to get at that age, and it makes me feel very senile. But, older running backs especially are just not good bets analytically to hit. But, I'm going to trust Sean Payton and George Paton with this one because I really like RJ Harvey. Like, profile-wise, even if he is 24, I really don't care. I really don't care, especially because we have to maximize Bo Nix's window while we can. And someone made a really funny comment on one of my shorts that I had posted for the draft. He said, I don't care how old he is. If he can be above 2.5 yards per carry, then I'll be happy. And I was like, wow, that's hilarious. But, was RJ Harvey potentially going to be available in third? I mean, maybe. But if Harvey was their guy, I have no issues other than longevity as well. So here's what the Broncos have to say. Sean Payton said, when you look at the running skill set, it was, wow. Yeah, that's how he feels. And Sean Payton also said that he had heard comps to Darren Sproles despite UCF not really throwing it to their running back position. George Payton said Harvey was our pet cat throughout this whole thing. George Payton also said, we thought Harvey had the best vision throughout the whole draft. So they clearly trust the offensive line. Especially because interior was something that I did not think we would attack throughout this process. I thought that it potentially could have been in play, but oh well. Yeah, either way, the Broncos are really, really excited on him. The Broncos are really, really high that they were able to land a guy like RJ Harvey. And you know what? I am too. It was one of those things at the time where I kind of had mock draft brain. I was like, do I really like this? And then I was like, yeah, I do. There's been a few picks, and I'll talk about this, when I'm recapping the draft, that I was like, didn't really love that one. But RJ Harvey's my favorite pick of the draft so far. But yeah, so that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.